Hello students, I am CG sir. Today we will discuss about the representation of transformations by matrices. So suppose F be a field and V and W be two finite dimensional vector spaces such that dimension of V equal to n and dimension of W is m. Okay, so definitely we will get to ordered basis b equal to alpha 1 alpha 2 dot alpha n. This is a basis of V, and b dash equal to beta 1 beta 2 beta m be a basis of W. Clear? Let T be a linear transformation from V into W. Okay, then definitely T carries each element alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n to an element in W, and that element in W can be represented as a linear combinations of beta 1 beta 2 beta m. We are doing so. T of alpha j equal to a1j beta 1 plus dot amj beta m. Definitely a1j a2j amj, these are elements from F. Okay, so and j varies from 1 to n. That means T of alpha 1 equal to a11 beta 1 plus dot a m1 beta 1. Similarly dot T of alpha n equal to a1n beta 1 plus dot a mn beta m. Clear? Now the coordinate of this element with respect to this basis is a11 dot a m1. That means the coordinate of T alpha j, this is an element in W. Okay, T alpha j is an element in W, so definitely its coordinate with respect to this basis is a1j dot amj. We are writing here. Now we are constructing the matrix with this coefficient and take its transpose. So a11 dot am1, a11 dot am1 and a1n dot amn. We are taking this matrix its transpose. It is in the form a11 and the column will be row. Okay, this is called the matrix of the T, the linear transformation T with respect to the two bases. So here the bases are important to represent a matrix, a transformation with respect to some matrix in the form of some matrix. Here A is determined when T is known. In the reverse case, we will find T if A is known. Suppose A is a given matrix, this. Okay, we have to find the corresponding transformation. Okay, so let alpha belongs to V be an arbitrary vector in V. Okay, and the coordinate of alpha with respect to the basis B, this is the basis of V. We suppose the coordinate is x1 x2 dot xn. So alpha can be represented as a linear combination of them. So alpha equal to x1 alpha 1 plus dot xn alpha n. That means T of alpha will be T of this. Now since T is a linear transformation, T of this means x1 T of alpha 1 plus dot xn T of alpha n. Again T of alpha 1, as we have taken this is the matrix, so definitely T of alpha 1 equal to this. So we are writing x1 into this plus dot xn into T of alpha n means this quantity. Okay, now we are arranging them in the form of x1 a11 plus dot plus xn a1n into beta 1 plus dot x1 am1 plus dot xn amn into beta m. So it is a linear combination of beta 1 dot beta m. Clear? Now that means the coordinate of T alpha with respect to beta 1 beta 2 beta m, we get each component. The first component is this dot the last component is this. There are m number of components. So if we suppose the coordinate of alpha with respect to B is capital X, that means capital X is the matrix x1 x2 xn, then the coordinate of T alpha What will be this? With respect to B dash, that will be Ax, where A is the given matrix this, and X is the column vector this, its column vector actually. So if we multiply this as the column here, we get the first component a11 x1 plus dot dot a1n xn, a11 x1 dot dot a1n xn, that will be the first component of its coordinate. Similarly we get the last coordinate, so its coordinate will be ax. Okay, now alpha is taken arbitrarily in V, therefore T is defined in this way. Okay, T alpha equal to this, it is the definition of the linear transformation. Fine. Next we have a theorem. Let F be a field and V, W are two finite dimensional vector spaces such that dimension of V equal to n, dimension of W equal to n. B, B dash, these are two ordered bases of V and W respectively. T be a linear transformation from V into W. This implies we must get there exists a matrix capital A in F m cross n such that the coordinate of T alpha with respect to B dash, that is equal to A into coordinate of alpha with respect to B. Okay, be careful, with the same symbol we are representing the coordinate as well as the matrix. Okay, so matrix is represented whenever this is transformation, but whenever this is only a vector, it will be the coordinate. Clear? So there exists matrix this for which the transformation this LVW means the set of all linear transformations from V to W. So definitely T is an element here and A is the matrix here, so we will get a transformation from T to A which is 1 1. Okay, I will not prove it. Next, let the matrix of T with respect to B and B dash be A whose column vectors are capital A1 dot dot capital AN. Then capital A1 is the coordinate, first coordinate of T alpha 1, yes, with respect to B dash. Similarly, in general, the coordinate of T alpha j with respect to B dash equal to AJ. Okay. Now let U be another transformation from V into W. Okay, T is a transformation, U is another transformation, and the matrix with respect to B and B dash of U be capital B, where the column vectors of B are B1, B2 dot dot Bn. Then definitely we know that Ct plus U for any scalar C, this is also a linear transformation from V into W. Its matrix representation with the respect to the same set of bases will be C into A plus B. Okay, we have no more time to prove this all, so I leave them. Next theorem, let A be a field, V and W are two finite dimensional vector spaces over the field F, dimension of V equal to n, dimension of W equal to m, B and B dash are two ordered bases. Then the vector space LVW and the vector space M cross n, these are isomorphic. You can easily prove it, because to prove this they are isomorphic, you have to define a linear transformation from this to this, and then you have to prove this transformation is 1 1 and 1 2. Now what will be the transformation? Here the elements are any transformation. So T, suppose T is an element here, F is the mapping, so F of T will be the matrix representation of T with respect to V and W. Then you can prove that this F is 1 1 and 1 2. Fine. Now if we choose W equal to V, that means we have T from V to V, this is an operator. Then we write the matrix, then B and B dash will be the same basis of V, and the matrix of T with respect to B equal to A, where T from V to V, dimension V equal to n. Now note that the representing matrix capital A depends on the basis B. Okay, so if we change the basis, the matrix form will be changed. Now the question, what is the relation between these different matrices whenever the bases are changed? We will prove that later. Let T be a linear transformation from V to V, linear operator. Alpha be an arbitrary element in V. Then the coordinate of T alpha with respect to B, coordinate of T alpha is here with respect to B. That is the matrix of T with respect to B into the coordinate of alpha with respect to B. Be careful. This is good result. Next I give you two problems. T from F2 to F2 be defined by T of x1 x2 equal to x1 comma 0. Then find T of beta. This portion already has been given in the previous class. No, I will give it later again. You have to find the matrix of T with respect to this basis, standard order basis, epsilon 1, epsilon 2. Epsilon 1 is 1 0, epsilon 2 is 0 1. You will do at your home. Next problem, let V be the space of all polynomials of degree less than equal to 2 over R, real polynomials. Then the basis of one standard order basis, one basis is B equal to 1 x square. It is an ordered basis of V. Now D from V to V, it is the differential operator. Okay, you have to find the matrix of D with respect to this basis. I leave it. Next theorem, let F be a field, V, W, Z are be three finite dimensional vector spaces over A. B, B dash and B double dash are three ordered bases of V, W, Z respectively. Okay, let T be a linear transformation from V to W, U be a linear transformation from W to Z. So definitely UT be a linear transformation from V to Z. Suppose the matrix representation of T with respect to B and B dash be capital A, matrix representation of U with respect to B dash B double dash is B, and matrix representation of UT with respect to B and B double dash is C. Now the relation between ABC is C equal to A into B. Whenever UT is the composition of U into T, I think it should be BA, C equal to BA. Okay. Fine. Next we have a remark. Let T be a linear transformation from linear operator from V to V, which is invertible. If and only if the matrix of T with respect to B, this is invertible. So if the representing matrix is invertible, then the linear transformation is invertible. Further, the matrix of the inverse transformation T inverse is the inverse of the matrix of T. Okay. Next we have some observation. Let T from V to V be a linear transformation, linear operator. Dimension of V equal to n. B equal to alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n, and B dash alpha 1 dash dot dot alpha n dash be two bases of V, two different ordered bases of V. Now this is the matrix of T with respect to B, and this is the matrix of T with respect to B dash. We have to find the relation between them. Okay. We know that the coordinate of alpha with respect to B equal to P into coordinate of alpha with respect to B dash. It has already been done in the first class, first chapter, coordinate transformation, because alpha is a single element, its coordinate with respect to B and its coordinate with respect to B dash, how they are related, we will get some matrix P Okay, how to calculate? We will represent alpha with respect to these elements, its element components with respect to these elements. You will revise it from the first chapter. So we will get an invertible matrix P whose column vectors are P1, P2, Pn. These Pj's are actually the coordinate of alpha j dash with respect to B. Okay, now the coordinate of T alpha with respect to B equal to matrix of T with respect to B into coordinate of alpha. Again, from 1, if I take the matrix of T alpha with respect to B, that will be P into matrix of T alpha with respect to B dash. This is equation 3. Now from 2 and 3, we are getting matrix of T with respect to B and coordinate of alpha with respect to B, that will be equal to this, because the left hand side of both 2 and 3 are same. Okay, now this quantity from 1, this quantity equal to P into alpha B dash, and here it is as it is. Okay, now we, since P is invertible matrix, we multiply with P inverse from both sides. P inverse this equal to T alpha B dash. That means again the right hand side T alpha B dash equal to T matrix of T with respect to B dash into coordinate of alpha with respect to B dash. This is from 2. Clear? That means this quantity equal to this. So matrix of T with respect to B dash equal to P inverse matrix of T with respect to B into P. This result is also very important. Okay, next we have a theorem. Let F be any field, V be a finite dimensional vector space, dimension of V equal to n. B and B dash are as the previous two bases, alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n, alpha 1 dash alpha 1 dot alpha n dash. T be a linear operator from V to V. P is the matrix P1 P2 Pn, where Pj equal to this. This implies the matrix of T with respect to P dash. That means this conclusion is taken as a theorem. Okay, so to prove it, you have to prove basically this. Next I am giving you one problem. T be a linear operator from F2 to F2 such that T of x1 x2 equal to x1 comma 0. B is the ordered standard ordered basis 1 0 0 1. B dash is any other ordered basis. So there are two bases. You have to find first the matrix of T with respect to this. This portion is already given. Okay, next task, using this matrix you have to find the matrix of T with respect to B dash. Okay, you have to just use this formula. That means you have to find out the matrix P and use it to find T of B dash with respect to B dash. Next we define similar matrices. You know it. What are similar matrices? A and B are two matrices. That means AB belongs to F m cross n cross n. Two square matrices must be. If there exists an invertible matrix P such that B equal to P inverse AP, then we say that B is similar to A. So from this definition we know that the matrix of the T with respect to B dash and the matrix of T with respect to B, they are similar because there exists a invertible matrix such that we can write in this way. So the relation is similarity. Now we can check that the relation of similarity is an equivalence relation in the set of all n cross n matrices over F. Equivalence relation means they are reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Suppose A reflexive, how to prove it? A is similar to A because A equal to I inverse AI. I is an invertible matrix. Next, if B is similar to A, then A is similar to B. You can prove it. B equal to P inverse AP. Since P is invertible, A is also P inverse. Okay. Next you can check the transitivity. A is similar to B B is similar to C, then you can easily check that A equal to B, C equal to some x inverse A x. Okay, so and since it will be proved by using the concept that if A and B are invertible and AB is AB is conformable, then definitely AB will also be invertible. Okay, that's all for today.